Hi, welcome to Alien Isolation. I picked this up back in March, but haven't got around to playing it until now. And started playing it last night after I got a bit frustrated with Feist. This is mission 2. We'll be getting all the collectibles along with all the bits and pieces that I find that seem interesting, the bonding agent, but for the most part it'll be sped up. At least this one is, because it's basically just a long tutorial. It's kind of on rails. Check the description for timecodes. I've put archive logs 0 to 15, but it's actually 4 to 18. It is ID tags 1 and 2, but check the descriptions if you need specific ones, and I'll put the appropriate numbers in there, which won't correspond to the ones up there, I'm afraid. Perhaps I should do that for the next one. Anyway, archive number 1, or 4, is here. Next to a compound B, which you're going to want to grab because that makes a medkit later, and I missed that the first couple of times I came through. Anyway, push through here. That's a dead end, so make sure you've checked the archive before you go down there, or you'll have to reload from the start of the level. There are no autosaves either, I discovered, to my horror. I thought at least cutscenes would be autosaves, but make sure you save often. And there's a quicker way to get to this ladder, but actually we want to go around, so push that button before you climb again through there, or crawl, I should say, through there. To find a box with some random stuff. I found flares and all sorts in there, but I got 3 bonding agents and a little bit of scrap. And then back through here and up the ramp that's now open, another bonding agent there on the left, and up the stairs. There we are. 2 sensors in this room, one on the left, one dead ahead, and a radio too. But yeah, and do check the eye on the top right as well for links to the playlist and all sorts of other good stuff, primarily the previous and next videos, but you know, there's stuff in there. I'm not going to be looking at the map too much because this mission basically is an on-rails tutorial. I'm presuming it gets a bit less linear after this at some point, but I haven't looked too much deeply into it. Activate this power generator anyway. There's 3 archive logs, 2, 3 and 4 here, which are actually what, 6, 7 and 8, or 5, 6 and 7. Anyway, check the description, I'll put them in. And then put the power back on, that will fire this, and then these guys are running past here. You can actually catch them up if you're quick, but there's an invisible wall here, which is a shame. It would have been nice if someone was waiting there and pushed you over, and that would have been a cool touch. And then the door shut while you were getting up, because it would have shown you they're all kind of like, what? Keep away from them. 0340 is the code. We got that from one of the archives in here, and there's a medical blueprint in here. I'm not sure whether or not the blueprints are level locked or if we'll be able to come back and explore, but there's stuff in this level that we can't access yet, so I'm assuming lots of stuff will come back later to explore. Anyway, head back up here and through these doors, watch for that wire, and now we're going to use the medkit that we just made, because I always run into that wire. There's a little bit of scrap there too, so don't miss that. You should have enough to make another medkit if you need it, but head around these stairs anyway, and the Torrens will fly in, and you won't be able to run for a bit. There it is there. And Vermain, or whatever her name is. Verlaine. Verlaine, I'm here, save me. Anyway, head over here. That's it. There's a flare on the table here and a power generator on the left, so pump that up. And then come around this way. There's compound B on the table there, another one, and archive log number 5, or 8, there. What I'll actually do in the future is probably just bring up the map to show which ones it actually is in reality, not the map, but the, you know, so that it's like the ones for the mission, 15 in the mission, but then you can actually see where they are. Anyway, 6, 7 and 8 here, pulling the plug to all space flight employees, and what is Apollo. And then through this vent in the middle of the room and out to the left this way. Just follow it round until you can climb up. Open the vent the other side and you're here. Push that and there's some scrap just inside here. There it is there. So grab that and then carry on up and over. Head this way, and I think this is where Axel runs past for the first time. Here. Oh no! Scary! It is actually, I'm going to go off on a tangent now, but there's something about this game that's very believable, even though the graphics aren't necessarily the best. The animations, like the movement, seems very fluid. Drop in here and grab the power. We're going to need to do that before we can go up to grab the clonking stick, the hitting stick. There's also an audio log here, number 9 or 12 there on the table, and at this point something had gone a bit wrong. The sound stopped working, you can see. But this is where we are. This one's kind of in the middle. It's baggage claim there. So on the next missions I'll bring up the map and the thing to show you actually where these things are. Through here and straight over there in audio archive log number 10/14 is on the table there. 10/13, sorry. And then over here and to the right, there's nothing in the other room. There's not much in here either, actually, apart from that body, obviously. So then aim for the vent and climb through, and it's a long way to go. You've got to overshoot to come back. Seems like a really pointless vent to me. But up there, around here to the left again, and drop down pretty much on top of the body. Get audio log number 11/14 and ID tag number 1 there. And we are here on the map, and that is Z Watson at 6132, that one. Get the clonking stick as well there. And that, yes, just little things like that, like the way the body moved when you pulled it out. And the fact that the faces aren't too shiny. I think Batman's put me off a little bit. And you can see that audio logs aren't working. I have subtitles up and there's no sound coming through, which is weird. But head back this way. There's another thing you can get off with a clonking stick there. So go ahead and do that and head into this room for number 12/15 along with some scrap on the table there. And that one's haste or heist interview. Previous one was dead soldiers there. The last 3 are up in the room. Once you've met Axel, there's 3 on a single terminal, so there's not actually much to do there, but that's number 15 there. Head back this way. That's the security room that we were in before, and there's a save point in there that we'll come back to in a minute because it all goes a bit wrong in a second. But head back to where you put on the power. Now you've got the clonking stick. It's there, and up this way, and open that door there. And then in here there's a couple of blasting caps, I think, and a bonding agent there. So grab those and head back out. Not much else to see or do in here yet at this time. There's a few locked doors that are presumably going to require equipment that we're going to collect in later missions. That's what I meant about being able to double back for blueprints. I might just break the blueprints out separately. Anyway, cutscene, you meet Axel. Really realistic, as I said before. Through here, there is, this is where it went a bit wrong, but in these 2 dark rooms here, there's some scrap there, and I think a bonding agent or something over this side. Compound B. And it went a bit wrong here. Axel's standing there pointing his gun at them, and they're like faffing around, but the conversation didn't start. And I kind of ran up there to see if he would come along eventually, but he didn't in the end. I don't know if this happens to you. I was going to cut it out, but just in case it happens to you, I went back up to the room where we picked up the maintenance bay, just the other side of here. So basically back through the doors and up, and saved and reloaded. That was the closest save point I could find. And then he came and he just started talking nonsense. The cutscene triggered. He was talking about the stuff he should have said in the elevator. So it all got a bit confused from here. So every save point I'm going to hit from here on in. Yeah, you got to wait here, so he's not even talking in the elevator. So I made a medical thing to pass some time. He's not talking here, unfortunately. There's some ethanol there on the left that I walked past and missed. Immediately on the left, you may have seen it flash briefly. So if you want another one of those, grab that. Wait for these guys. Axel came along there and pushed me out, the gimp. Wait for them to move. He'll eventually come here and get in the vent. Follow him through. There we are. And follow him through until you get here. This bit. Oh, sorry, I've just left all this, yeah. And you're into his hideout. There's compound B there, so you get medkits galore. Wait for him to do his thing. Presumably he should be talking here as well. There's some scrap there, some radio there, and then over on the right, a flashlight battery and the flashlights themselves. The flashlight itself, sorry, there. So whack that on, you'll get a kind of a mini cutscene, and there's some ethanol on the floor there as well. So I missed one ethanol, but I showed you where it was. There may be other things I missed too. I saved here and reloaded as well. This is running on my SSD, I don't know why, so it loads really quickly, but now he's talking about the elevator again. I'd appreciate it if you told me what the hell was going on right now. Anyway, through this way, and there's a flashlight battery there, so don't miss that, and then around to the left. Put the flashlight on, and then ID tag, the second ID tag there, and that's the one on the top left. So we've got top left and bottom right ID tags, and then the vent that Axel's looking for is right over there with the red circle around it. Wait there for him to get over, follow him in. Oh, big yawn. Woof, excuse me. Woof, I'm not a dog. Then through there, wait till those guys, he sees them. Then you're going to come around here. I wanted to go over and have a look over here where they were standing before. There's a green button, but you can't push it, so maybe that'll be activated later. Saved and reloaded. And now he's talking about something else entirely once again. Anyway, head around here. You don't have to wait for Axel to talk, assuming he's talking at all. and through here, activate the generator, then move to the side or crouch and get up against the wall because they're going to shine the torch through, and you don't want them to see you. Once the torch moves away, get down and open the vent, drop in, and then you shouldn't have too long to wait here. It's just down here and up. I open the vent. I've got there before and opened it, and they've gone kind of berserk at me, so make sure they're definitely clear. But that's where we are there. We're going to run through here to the 2-button room, which is where the final archives are. Up here there's some scrap on the barrel on the right there. Grab that. But I am full, unfortunately. Should have made another medical kit. Anyway, another save. Didn't bother loading this time. Through here. This is where the comms thing is all the way around here, but there's the archive there with the next 3, so I've just swiped that all the way up to 15, but that's 16, 17 and 18. Blind Eye, 2-man rule, and another one. Anyway, they're all text ones, I think. Now Axel wants to push these buttons at the same time. In fact, one of the archives tells you about that, so do that. Without speech, it's even harder. 1, 2, 3, what? And he doesn't do it on 3, which really annoys me. He goes on 3, and then goes 1, 2, 3, and there's a pause, and then you push it. Anyway, come around here, hit the guy with the clonking stick. Axel will shoot him, which is kind of brutal. Then, when you and Axel have parted ways, come through here and push the transit button there to finish up. The first time I did this, I was just kind of standing around, and then an alien tail went through my chest, and a hand came over my face, which seemed a bit cruel. So I ducked this time. There we are. But that's it. On the left, the swindle. On the right, part 2. I haven't even played that yet. I just recorded the first minute or so I could stick something in there. But we're going to find it's a little bit like Dead Space, where you've got to allocate power. I'm quite enjoying this. It's really genuinely surprising. I'm surprised at how engaged I am by it, and how much I like the characters and the voice acting and the tension, and well, there hasn't been much tension yet, but good game. Consider getting it on sale. Anyway, that's it for now. See you very soon. Bye!